I would like to introduce the people on this call that we have today to talk about TekFest. Pierce, give it away.
Hey, my name's Pierce Smithwick. I'm the owner of All Green Lights and one of the co-founders of Technology Worldwide.
Hey guys, this is Brandon with TSCIT, host of our, Tech Talk podcast that Ray and I occasionally do. Hopefully we'll get back into the swing of things here after my office flood and everything that's happened. I have all new equipment, so I'm ready to go. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about TekFest. I'm real excited.
Excellent. So, and as always, Ray Klein, Libertas Consulting, and co-founder of Technology Worldwide as well. Marco is with us in spirit today. He's doing dad things right now, which is really awesome. Congratulations to Marco and Tara.
Hey,
Marco. So, what are you guys most excited to see at TekFest in April? I'll start with you, Pierce.
Well, there's a lot going on. We've got a lot of vendors coming that cover a whole gamut of segments of the industry. And I've, at the charity build, I got to spend a lot of time with the trend guys, and I'm actually looking forward to spending more time with them to get even more field knowledge about their equipment. I definitely want to talk to the AEM guys, and I want to talk to the Net Ally guys because honestly, Net Ally's got some really cool equipment out there, but I haven't played with it very much other than like their Link Sprinter and stuff like that. I'd just like to know what else they have to offer because I've been recommending some of their gear to some counterparts who are looking for a less expensive version of a certifier, if you will, that they can go test with. And I think there's some great products in that Net Ally line for that purpose. But outside of that, you look at the speakers who are going to come, and I'm pretty excited to see some of these guys. Like Jeremy Gable's going to be talking about tools for the right job. And, a lot of this is probably common knowledge, if you will, in the industry. But I'm always curious to hear his take on what he does and why he does it and how he chooses tools and solutions for his projects. We're going to have Justin Catalano there, and that's going to be a fun talk about cybersecurity. Look at some of the other ones. I can't wait to see yours, Ray, about recurring monthly revenue, because honestly, I don't play in that sphere at all. And it'd be interesting to get a take on what guys are doing for that recurring revenue. I know in the MSP world, it's very obvious the ways you chase that down, but I don't play in that world. So if there's a way that I could tie some of this into what I do from a cabling standpoint, I'd be curious to pick some of that stuff up. And honestly, I'm looking forward to giving a talk about cabling, labeling, and Legos. Maybe I'll bring some Legos too to share with everybody.
I like it. Yeah, we had this idea too. Brandon and I were talking about we're thinking about getting some TKW Lego characters, and okay. I'd love to get your input on that for the design of those. That would be really cool. I think they'd be great giveaways at your talk.
I can give you a hookup on where we can get those from because Jasper's already found a place that does nothing but figurines. So
love it.
Perfect. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Brandon, what are you excited about?
With TekFest, not only am I looking forward to the talks that are going to be happening and meeting all the vendors, I'm excited about the community interaction that's going to happen with this event and the hallway talks that are going to happen at this event. The whole reason that this conference came about was when we were at the charity project, I saw a lot of guys grouping together and wanting to learn from each other and, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? But we had so much work we had to do. We didn't have an opportunity to really sit down and have those chats and learn from each other. The whole reason this came about was I saw a group of like 20 guys all crowd around Mick from Trican Security when he was laying out his access control panel. And everybody just wanted to learn, like, how does Mick do it? What does he do different from me? What tips and tricks could I grab from him? And it sparked that little thought in my brain, like, what if we had a conference that's what it is? Like, you see all these conferences out there where it's just go and meet all these vendors and, chat, get the swag and all that. But I wanted something where you're going to have a lot of collaboration and you can see how all these different verticals work together. Our community is all about technology. It's not about a single vertical. So how do the access control guys work with the IT guys that work with the alarm guys, that work with the camera guys, work with the structured guys? How can we all work together in one unified group? And how do all of our products work together on a network? Because at the end of the day, everything is being connected now to a network, and we need to know how that all works together. And then with some of the talks that we're going to have, Jeremy's doing an awesome talk. Like, you could be an up-and-coming tech. What are some of the tools that you need to start your job? Or Ray's talk. Hey, how do I take my business from getting $5,000 of recurring revenue and turning that into $50,000 a month in recurring revenue? That's really where you can grow your business. It's hard to do time and materials and grow your business that way. If you can get that recurring revenue coming in, that allows you to grow your business a lot easier. And then we have Pierce talking about structured cabling and why he lays his racks out the way that he does, why he does the things on his jobs the way that he does. I mean, he answers questions in the DMs on Instagram all the time. Now we're going to have a talk that he's going to be able to do and answer all your questions. We can post that video on YouTube and have that for posterity. I think that's going to be awesome. And then we have Rob teaching Networking 101. I mean, Rob does, every facet of IT and structured cabling. So having him kind of just do a well-rounded talk is going to be great. And then Justin Colantonio doing a Cybersecurity 101. Being that I'm an MSP, I see it every day. We have all these new compliances that are coming about. We have all these new, I want to say, headaches that are coming about. And a lot of companies are now requiring cyber insurance policies to bring in different facets of technology. So like what we're seeing in the automotive market with the EVs coming onto the market, a lot of the automotive manufacturers are starting to use this as a kind of way to push in cybersecurity insurance and push in cybersecurity policies at these dealerships. And a solid class on Cybersecurity 101 is going to be great, and kind of showing, hey, what's happening in this cybersecurity space and what do we have to look forward to in the next year or two.
Ray, what are you excited about seeing at TekFest?
I'm just excited to meet all the vendors. I mean, truth be told, and I'm excited to meet the new people that have come into the community that I've not yet been able to meet because they've not been in an event or, we've just physically not met. That was one of the biggest things for me, even at the community project we did at Brockett Church, was getting to meet all of the people that I talk to every day. Mm-hmm. So, meeting a Dan, because we had a lot of Dans at the community project. It was great meeting those guys, right? And spending time and getting to learn about their businesses. And you learn so much more from people when you're physically with them, right? No matter what anybody says, there's only so much we can do online. And just being able to work shoulder to shoulder with those guys, is awesome, right? I'm really looking forward to seeing even Trish, who I see all the time. Trish has been a great friend of mine for years. But watching her interact with the team, from a completely different level. Trish is at the PM level now, but used to be at that same level of the guys that are all now, like in the trenches, right? So right. Watching her get to interact with all these people is fun to watch, because it's like riding a bike, right? Just because you stop doing it doesn't mean you forget how to do it. So watching that interaction is really fun too. Obviously getting to meet the amazing team at Cable and Connections that are doing so much for us, allowing us to be at their facility to do this event. They're hosting it for us, which is awesome. I think it's the networking camaraderie thing for me. Yep. And honestly, selfishly, I'm looking forward to sharing my story too, because I tell that same story and I'm calling my chat, how to make 5,000 into 50,000. It's exciting because I keep getting to, I keep telling that story over and over again. Mm-hmm. So it'll be nice to actually get it down in a recording fashion and share that story, because building that, MRR model is real important on the MSP side, just so that we can continue to grow. I mean, I can honestly tell you that without that model, my business may have not survived COVID. So, it's pretty exciting.
Well, I mean, that was an echo. I think you talked to a lot of MSPs or smaller operators during the COVID timeframe. And if they did not have that income coming in from a recurring stance, they wouldn't have made it, like you said. And I know, for us in the structured cabling world, it was different. I mean, we definitely had a slowdown, if you will, right at the start, but things just kept going because people honestly looked at it and said, you know what? Now we actually have a time where we can do a lot of this growth, a lot of the expansion we want to do without impacting operations because people aren't there. So we can make the investments we want to grow a facility, build out a facility, have it ready for when COVID returns, and be set. So, there's two ways to that, but I think definitely in a model like y'all operate, you had to have the recurring revenue.
Right.
I really think, I'm hoping that there are a lot of one-off conversations over the course of this weekend where we can just literally talk shop, for all the reasons he said that the charity event was not conducive to that. I mean, it was not that it was a high pressure situation, but there was things we had to get done, and it wasn't really a time to be teaching and working together and working through kinks and whatnot. This I think is going to be kind of cool because there's definitely certain ways I do things. They work for me. I'm not saying they're 100% right, but I'd love to hear how Jeremy does them, how Dan from NWTEL does them, how some of the other guys do them, because I've seen their work online, and it's pretty good. And if I can get better by adopting some of their stuff, I'm all for that. Or learning more about, even from some of these talks, like Justin's talk on Security 101. If I'm missing something in my personal operations or the few clients I do advise from a security stance, I'd love to know more about that, Or if there's a way, like Ray's talking about growing, recurring revenue, if I can incorporate a little bit of that into what I do, that's a bonus for me. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun to have just casual growth talks, if you will, with guys who are doing really well.
So Brandon did a great job explaining to, on this podcast what this event is and how it started. But one of the things that I'm pretty excited about is that vendor-member relationship, right? And I'm going to use Hammond as an example. Hammond is in our community, in our Slack channel all the time, and asked a very, poignant question. What changes would you like to see in the rack? What changes would you like to see in our products? And in real time, he got that feedback and is implementing those changes very actively on his equipment. So it's those kind of relationships that are going to happen at this event that generally won't happen at a normal convention, right? Now a Mike from Vertical Cable is going to have his tools on display. Simply 45 is going to have their tools on display, and they're going to get the ability to hand those to people and get real feedback and take that feedback back and make better tools. It's not just a vendor showing their product. It's not a vendor, displaying their product to sell their product. It's vendors are going to get that all important feedback immediately from the community. And what's really nice is, we have the people responsible for making these products coming, right? So, Pierce, who's coming from Simply 45?
Blake Talley.
Yep. Who's coming from Vertical Cable?
Mike K.
Who's responsible for designing these tools, right?
Right.
And, Scott from Hammond, who's responsible for manufacturing these racks, is coming. So it's that one-to-one relationship where we can help make impactful changes on products and services that these partners that we have are going to be able to do. And that is something that isn't happening anywhere. So I think that's pretty cool.
I'm excited. And I mean, the chance to interact and give feedback to these guys is worth it. I know Blake's been, much like Scott with Hammond has, Blake's asked lots of questions in the community about how he can make the tools better, what our feedback is from the field. And he's gotten a lot of feedback, both good and bad from the guys, but I think it's going to help them ultimately refine that product to make it better. Speaking of Vertical Cable, I got one of the very first prototypes when they came out with that VMAX tool. I'll never forget it. I got back from Italy. I was on vacation with my family, and Mike emails me and goes, "Hey, there's a present waiting for you." And I'm like, "What?" Because I didn't really know him at that point in time. I didn't really know the whole Vertical Cable stance. But sure enough, I open it up. It's an early prototype of the VMAX, and I used that thing for probably a good 6 months before, the blades got dull or what have you. But I was hooked immediately. And the whole time through that process, he kept pinging me, asking for questions about how they could make that better before they actually launched it and took it live. But, the access to that development stage, if you will, and the access to give these guys feedback on what they do well and not so well is great. And an environment like TekFest is just going to enhance that even more, because I know there's going to be guys here who are opinionated on what works, what doesn't work, or how they can make stuff better in the field. So I'm really excited to see how those conversations unfold.
No, I agree. And I don't know if you remember, but you gave me my first VMAX tool. And you had sent that to me with some jacks. He said, I sent them a lot of them around. But yeah, so, I mean, that's why, a couple years back, that's how I got hooked on their product. And that's what this community does, right? Like we love certain products. We use certain products because we validated that they're amazing. Yeah. And we share them with the community. So it's really cool for them. Onward and upward, though. Some of the exciting, the fun stuff, other than the networking and the business of the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this yet, but Pierce, we've got Theron has scheduled some really cool events for us while we're down there. So we're going to have food trucks at the event, live music at the event, in the same tent, in the same arena. We're going to have a really cool dinner for the members on Monday night for
Fantastic.
the TKW members.
Is that hosted on the property, or is this offsite somewhere?
It's offsite.
Okay.
And the venue looks really cool.
Great.
And then they're having a big dinner celebration Saturday evening in another venue that looks really cool, as well as, we've got some happy hours scheduled, and we've got some other fun events.
Good.
We're going to have some skills competitions happening at the event. Yep. They're going to put us on the spot. We're going to truly see who can terminate a jack the fastest.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's going to be fun.
You get Cat 3 cable though. No twist allowed. Done.
Yep. Cat 3 cable. No twist. We don't need to untwist the wire. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe that'll be what we do. Secret.
I want to
tell anybody.
be a sub 8 time on Cat 3 cable.
Done.
Right.
On top of that, we've got some demonstrations that we're going to be doing.
Yep.
We're going to be building an infrastructure on site. So the plan is, so the plan is, look, anybody can build a rack, right?
Right.
But we're going to take that rack and show how you integrate not only the structured cabling piece, the network piece, the access control piece.
Okay.
The whole point here is full integration. How do you fully integrate all of the technologies that are within our community and make them work together? So we're going to have an access panel. We're going to have networking equipment. We're going to have wireless equipment. We're going to have structured cabling. We're going to build that live and build a true network infrastructure together to show how all of our facets of technology integrate. And that's key, right? It's one thing to build a structured cabling rack, and that's important. That's a piece of it. But it's another thing to take it to another level, because we are a technology community. And at the end of the day, we're multifaceted. So we want to make sure that there's something in this for everyone within our community.
Agreed. You got to look at it from the full stack stance, if you will. And so it'll be cool to see how that integrates together and ties in together. This is going to be
fun. I'm just trying to think, what are the other exciting things? There's so much happening, and there's so much cool stuff going on. It's I'm really excited about this. And
we get to meet everyone from Cable and Connections. We get to meet Theron, Dave, Amanda from the back office, all the other guys, which I know them all by name, but I've never met any of them in person other than Theron. So it'll be great to finally do that. Darren will be there, hopefully. So yeah, it's going to be a great networking event. Anyway, you slice it. Not to play on that word, but you know what I mean. It is truly a chance to network with the community, the vendors, the distributors, the suppliers, everybody.
So Theron and I keep passing this word around. I think we're calling it an experience, right?
I like that.
So I think we're going to call it an experience, and I think we should market it as such. I do want to thank a couple of our elite sponsors. So Brother, Hammond, Simply 45, and Vertical Cable have stepped up to be our elite sponsors. And what does that mean? They've made an extra donation to our community that goes 100% towards our community, over and above the sponsorship fee. So I want to thank them. It's companies like those that are helping us grow our community. So I really want to thank them in a special way. And we've got a couple ideas that we are going to have at the event to thank them.
Cool.
I want to thank all of our vendors that are going to be there. So AEM. Yeah, there's a list. So I'm gonna go through it real quick, but I do want to thank them. It's right now, we've got a couple others that are coming, but right now confirmed we've got AEM, Brother, Hammond, NetAlly, Pulling Pal, Manhattan, Intelligent Networks, Uniview, TLC, Klein Tools, Sarah 4, Simply 45, Lynn Electronics, which is actually in my back door. They're in Horsham, which is pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yep. Platinum Tools, NSI Industries, TechLogix Networks, Trend Networks. Big thanks to Trend, right?
Yeah,
being on site at our charity project. I love those guys. ZK Telco, or ZK Teco, they're going to be there. Vertical Cable, and as of yesterday, Eaton is coming. So
they're coming?
They are coming. We are going to get to meet Mike, and I believe her name is Penny. Yep, Mike DeCamp.
Nice. Bring the duckies.
Yep, bring the ducky. Well, did you see? He actually has a little statue, his own little bobblehead. He's got a bobblehead, so it's really cool.
It's gonna be great.
Some of the guest speakers that we have right now, obviously Pierce, myself will be speaking. We've got Rob from Redefined Solutions. We've got Jeremy Gable. Yep, I can't wait to see his demonstration on tools. Justin Colantonio is going to be giving a talk on cybersecurity.
Fantastic.
We've got a couple more people that we've not announced yet because they're trying to figure out what they're going to speak about. But I'm pretty excited for them too. But they'll be on the website too. So I guess to wrap this up, Pierce, if you don't mind, we've got a couple others that are coming, but right now we've got because I'm sure people are tired of hearing from me. Why don't you tell people where they can find all this information and how to register?
All right. So if you want to attend this event in April, and we hope you do, pardon me, go to TekFest.org. And if you hit that website, you'll see a list of, a description of what the TekFest is, which highlights what we just talked about. You'll see all the sponsors. But keep scrolling down, and there is a hotel link to book your hotel. We've got a block of rooms reserved at a reduced rate for this event. And then right below that is our attendance form, which we'd like you to fill that out too, just so we can get a good head count on who else is going to be attending. Pretty simple, tekfest.org.
I like it. The only other thing I'll say about the hotel is, so we have a block of rooms, and this has been a little confusing to people, so I'll explain it. We have a block of rooms that goes from Thursday to Sunday. So you'll see that when you go to that website, those dates are already locked in, but you can change them. So if you're only coming down on a Friday or a Saturday, you can change those dates. Okay. So make sure you change it. You don't have to stay the entire length. There are some of us that are coming down Thursday evening, like myself, and and Pierce. There are some people that are not coming down until later, and there are some people that want to stay until Monday. So just make sure that when you're booking your hotel, you choose the dates that you plan on attending.
Perfect. Nice. Good catch.
Brandon, do you have anything else for us, sir?
Then another thing that we didn't have to mention was, one thing that differentiates this conference from other conferences is you can go and buy all these products that you're seeing, all these products that you're learning from these vendors about. You can go into Cable and Connections office and purchase all those products while you're there on site that weekend. You don't have to wait a week to call your supplier to get the products. You can get it all that weekend, which is awesome. So I'm real excited for this event. I can't wait to see the collaboration among the community and to meet a lot of the local Cable and Connections customers and, introduce them to the TK community.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your time, and we'll see you in April, Columbia, South Carolina, for TekFest 23. Can't wait to see you.